after returning from a business trip abroad. My marriage certificate suddenly turned into a divorce agreement. The lawyer, who is my person, whispered to me. President Han cheated and is secretly preparing for a new wedding. I was taken aback, only to hear the lawyer continue. That would be your nominal sister, the false daughter of the Zhang family, Zhang Qingzi. Hearing this, I touched my slightly rounded abdomen and suddenly smiled. I didn't know whether I had anticipated this or if I was completely disheartened by Han Muchen. I swiftly signed the divorce agreement and handed it over. Mr. Zhang, in 30 days, you and Mr. Thon to be able to officially divorce. As soon as I turned around, I saw Han Muchen walking towards me with redrimmed eyes. Xiaonian. Something has happened in the company. We must immediately enter into a fake divorce. Han Muchen's guilty gaze flicked over my slightly swollen belly, as if he wanted to explain further. But I interrupted him directly. I agree to the divorce, but on the condition that, for the rest of your lives, the Han family is not allowed to see my child. This child will carry the surname Zhang. Han Muchen was taken aback for a moment. I never expected that without even asking a couple more questions. I would so easily believe his words. It didn't take long for me to realize what my words truly meant. Hastily grabbing my hand, he coaxed. Xiaonian, please don't say such things. We're just temporarily divorced. I still love you. No matter what. I am still this child's father. And that blood bond cannot be severed. You can't be so cruel. I looked at the glimmering tears in Han Muchen's eyes. I found this kind of insincerity so annoying that even his touch felt disgusting. I pulled my hand back directly, turned my face coldly to the side. Heartless. Han Muchen, it was you who brought up the divorce. If you have second thought, we can choose not to part ways. Han Muchen's remaining words were stuck in his throat. Silence lingered for a long time. In the end, he let out a long sigh and agreed. All right. I promise you. Let's go register the divorce now. Silence all the way. It wasn't until we walked out of the Civil Affairs Bureau that Han's mother hurried over after receiving the news. She cast a quick glance at my prominent belly and turned to scold Han Muchen. Xiaonian has only been pregnant for 4 months. And you want to stir up a divorce. I've waited for so long, hoping for this grandson. Muchen, are you trying to make me die of anger on purpose? Han Muchen lowered his head. He handed over the fake documents he had prepared long ago. Mom, I had no choice but to do this. The company is in trouble. And for the greater good, I have to divorce Xiaonian. Han's mother quickly flipped through a few pages, her expression suddenly turning grim. What about my grandson? Nian has only been pregnant for 4 months. The fetus is just stabilizing. Are you really going to me? As she spoke, she reached out to touch my belly, but I subtly dodged away. I looked at Han Muchen, also signaling to Han's mother. Han Muchen, don't forget what you promised me. From now on, this child will take my surname. You Han family members are forbidden from seeing him again. Han mother nearly stumbled in anger upon hearing this. With tears in her eyes, she looked at my belly. How can this be? This is my own grandson. Muchen, have you gone crazy? Han's mother was at a loss and could only look at Han Muchen for help. Seeing the look of utter despair on Han's mother's face, Han Muchen turned to me, wanting to say something more. I didn't give him the chance to speak, reminding him. Han Muchen, it was you who initiated the divorce. The conditions were also agreed upon by you in person. Are you trying to back out? Han Muchen fell silent again. That's enough. I couldn't be bothered to continue wrangling with him, so I hailed a taxi and left. Behind me, Han's mother, furious, slapped Han Muchen right across the face. She yelled, "What kind of devil has possessed you? The company is really facing a huge crisis. Mom can seek help from people in the circle. Even if it means selling the dowry. I can help you get through this difficult time. Must you really escalate to the point of divorce? That's your flesh and blood, my dear grandson. Do you just say no and that's it?" Han Muchen's face was struck, turning to one side, enduring the slap. No explanation. No rebuttal. But she still insisted. Mom, I'm sorry. I have to get a divorce from this marriage. That night, Han's mother was so enraged that she had to be hospitalized. These days, Han Muchen has called me 30 or 40 times, all wanting me to go see her. I haven't answered any of them. We're about to get a divorce. How can he still be so clueless? President Zhang. President Han is here again. Should I decline and say you're not in this time? I helplessly rubbed my brow. Dragging it out like this won't do. I might as well have the front desk let him in. A few minutes later, the office door was pushed open forcefully. As soon as Han Muchen spoke, his tone was both anxious and confrontational. Zhang Nian. Mom has been in the hospital for several days now. You haven't even shown your face or answered the phone. Isn't that a bit too much? I put down the documents in my hand and slowly revealed a pale face. During this time, due to pregnancy, my body was severely swollen, and I couldn't sleep well at all. Where would I have the spare energy to care about someone else's mom? Han Muchen, do I still need to remind you? We are already in the process of getting a divorce. Mrs. Han is your mother, not mine. I am pregnant, and my primary responsibility is to my child. I have neither the energy nor the obligation to care about someone else's mother. Seeing the change in my expression, the anger of Han Muchen faded significantly. Hearing me say that again, I could only feel my face flush with embarrassment, unconsciously softening my tone. I'm sorry, Xiaonian. I was too anxious and didn't consider that you were feeling unwell. But you also know that over the years, Mom has treated you well, for both emotional and logical reasons. You should go see her. If you're truly not feeling well, I won't force you. Just send her a message. It will comfort her at least. The company is a complete mess right now, and I'm overwhelmed every day. I don't want to keep coming to find you about this. I scoffed and shook my head, finding it ridiculous. Han Muchen isn't busy with the company at all. He's clearly being stressed out by the preparations for his grand wedding with Zhang Qingzi. I'll find some time to text Auntie. You can go back now. Additionally, I have finalized the separation plan for all the previous related business between our two companies. The Public Relations Department will issue an announcement in a couple of days. In the future, unless absolutely necessary, I hope you won't appear in front of me. Han Muchen bit his lip, but still stubbornly asked me. Xiaonian, we have been married for 5 years. Exactly 5 years. Do you have to be so ruthless? Can't you leave any room for negotiation? I lowered my head, ignoring Han Muchen's hypocritical outcry. Pressing the intercom, I instructed, Xiao Zhou, see the guests out. The receptionist pushed the door open and politely asked Han Muchen to leave. His fists clenched and then relaxed on either side. And in the end, he walked away in anger. It was only when Han Muchen turned to leave that I lifted my head again. Staring in a daze at his gradually disappearing figure, I had actually loved this man. A rare sincerity in our business marriage. At that time, Han Muchen really did treat me well. No matter how late I came home from work, he would always wait for me to return before resting. And he would personally cook me a late-night snack when I was uncomfortable during my period. For every one of those nights over the 5 years, Han Muchen would always rub his hands together to warm them up before gently placing them on my cold abdomen. That time I was hospitalized for acute gastroenteritis. He didn't say a word, but left behind important merger negotiations to rush here, keeping vigil at the bedside all night. When I woke up in the early morning, I saw Han Muchen asleep in the chair, still clutching the list of precautions given by the doctor, on which he had densely circled several items with a pen. I had once thought that life would flow steadily like a trickle, until 3 years ago, when Han Muchen got drunk at a social gathering, and I went to pick him up. Before getting in the car, he suddenly held me tightly. In a daze, Han Muchen mistook me for someone else. Zizi, don't go. Don't leave me. I love you. I miss you so much. She looks just like you. Xiaozi. Xiaozi. Zhang Qingzi. In that moment, I felt as though all the blood in my body had turned to ice. Their affairs are actually not difficult to investigate. Having grown up together, with no misunderstandings as children, I was recognized by the Zhang family at 16. Zhang Qingzi and her mother, who was the mistress, were both driven out of the country. That's why Han Muchen took the initiative to arrange a marriage with me back then. Perhaps it was because I bore some resemblance to Zhang Qingzi in my features. That night, my lover was deep in sleep, and my tears flowed like a tide. In the end, I thought to myself, deceiving myself. Perhaps that's how business marriages always end up. Having superficial respect and occasional warmth is already quite rare. The next object of another marriage may not be better than him. I endured it. Even though I know Han Muchen only sees me as a substitute. Even though I know Han Muchen and Zhang Qingzi have a 3-year-old illegitimate daughter abroad. I have endured it all, forcing myself not to look, not to listen, not to think. What I didn't expect was that, in the end, it would be Han Muchen himself who was unwilling to resort to empty pleasantries. He deceived me and insisted on divorcing me. I can't hold it in any longer. The love was real. The heartbreak is also real. I let out a long sigh, and the phone on the table vibrated twice. It's my mom's call. Nyan Nyan. Have you sorted out things back home? The application for the private jet route has been approved. You can leave on the night of your divorce. I replied a couple of times. Giving birth abroad has long been part of my plan. First, it's necessary for the expansion of my business territory. Second, as long as the Han family wants to, they will find a way to see my child within the country. I do not want him to have a father who is an illegitimate child born within a marriage. That is not a healthy environment for growth. Your own health is the most important thing. Don't think too much about anything else. Now that you're here, everything is fine with Mom around. And my mom hesitated, as if she wanted to say more. My people checked immigration, and Zhang Qingzi sneakily returned to the country. I nodded. In an instant, I subconsciously felt a sense of relief. Han Muchen would finally stop bothering me. Then, I couldn't help but let out a self-deprecating laugh. What kind of nonsense marriage is this? Let her be. I know Han's mother. She would rather die than acknowledge Zhang Qingzi as her daughter-in-law. After hanging up the phone, I sent Han's mother a couple of brief messages. The response came back quickly, chattering away. Han's mother advised me not to be disappointed in Han Muchen, that the company would eventually get through the tough times, and that he would definitely ask me to remarry. I didn't reply again. I focused my mind again and dealt with work matters. Life went on so peacefully, and I often heard rumors about Han Muchen keeping a beauty hidden away. There were whispers that Han Muchen was spending lavishly at a high-end jewelry store, booking the latest collection, or that his newly purchased villa on the outskirts of the city was undergoing urgent renovations. I only smiled and let it pass, completely unfazed, until the day the divorce cooling-off period ended. At the entrance of the Civil Affairs Bureau, I saw Han Muchen again. His face was not the radiant spring breeze I had imagined. Instead, it appeared worn down by the relentless grind of trivial matters. He hesitated before speaking to me. Zhaonian, things at the company have improved a lot recently. It can be considered that we've gotten through the tough times. Let's put off the matter of our divorce for a while. I didn't even glance at him and walked straight inside. You know best if there's anything going on at the company. Since it's come to this, there's no point in trying to mend what's broken. Let's go. Don't waste any more time. Han Muchen grabbed my hand, just as I wanted to say something. The phone in my pocket rang. He took a glance at the screen. Frowning, he answered the call. I vaguely heard him shout the full name of the person on the other end of the line. Zhang Qingzi. I'll tell you one more time. My mom's health isn't good. She can't handle it. Keep everything simple. Do you understand? Simple. He shot me a nervous glance, gradually walking away with the phone, continuing to say something. When he came back, Han Muchen didn't say anything about slowing down the divorce anymore. He honestly followed me to complete the divorce certificate. The emotions in his eyes were tangled and complex. I couldn't be bothered to investigate. I tucked the bright red little booklet into my bag and turned to Lee. Ve? Han Muchen was left standing alone in a daze. As he turned the corner, visibility was poor. He didn't know where a little girl with pigtails suddenly came rushing out from. It was neither here nor there. I was slammed hard against my prominently rounded belly. A dull pain suddenly hit me. I stumbled and fell to the ground, not even having the time to clutch my belly and moan in pain. The little girl's fists, like raindrops, pounded straight onto my stomach, and she was cursing messily. Bad woman. D. You bad woman. You bully my mom and steal my dad. Instinctively, I pushed the little girl away to protect the child. The force was not strong, but the little girl, using that slight push, suddenly slammed into the wall. A sharp cry instantly erupted, loud enough to make one's eardrums ache. She covered her forehead, crying inconsolably, as if she had suffered an immense injustice. I collapsed on the ground, breaking out in a cold sweat from the pain. Just as I was about to lean against the wall to stand up, hurried footsteps echoed beside me. It was Han Muchen. I extended my hand toward him with great difficulty, unable to help but plead for assistance. Han Muchen. My stomach hurts. Before the words were finished, I saw Han Muchen walk straight past me, swiftly picking up the crying little girl in his arms, gently soothing her. Don't cry. Don't cry. Xiao Xiao. Don't be afraid. Let me see where you got hit. Does it hurt? She turned her head and scolded me. Zhong Nian. Don't you have any shame? What sort of adult picks on a child? After saying this, Han Muchen carefully brushed aside the hair from the girl's forehead. Examining it closely, the girl named Xiao Xiao pointed at her forehead with a small finger while sobbing. There was only one spot that had been rubbed red. She cried even louder, gasping for breath as she shouted, It hurts. It hurts so much. The bad woman pushed me. She's bad. I clutched my stomach, unable to utter a word of explanation from the pain. All I could do was let out ragged breaths. But Han Muchen didn't listen at all. He just carried the crying Xiao Xiao further away. Wait. I felt weak all over, hopelessly reaching out my hand, but I couldn't grasp anything. I could only watch helplessly as Han Muchen left me behind. My vision darkened, and waves of dizziness washed over me. Warm blood seeped slowly from my lower abdomen. Fortunately, the staff and the driver waiting at the door noticed something was wrong and rushed over in time. They helped me up and took me to the hospital together. After an afternoon of examination and treatment, the doctor administered 2 injections to stabilize the pregnancy. The bleeding stopped, and the situation stabilized. The baby was safe. I didn't delay any longer and took a private plane abroad that night. Looking through the window, the city beneath me grew smaller and smaller. Along with the love, hatred, and obsession of these 5 years, it vanished without a trace. I withdrew my gaze and slowly closed my eyes, gently lifting a hand. She touched her little belly. Han Muchen. In this lifetime, you will never see this child again. Han Muchen, holding the endlessly crying Xiao Xiao, anxiously searched for a nearby private clinic. The doctor examined and confirmed that the child only had a slight bruise on the forehead, not even a scratch, let alone any internal injuries. She hurriedly called Zhang Qingzi and then turned back to find me. What about that pregnant woman just now? Han Muchen grabbed a staff member who was packing up and getting ready to leave work. She asked eagerly, Where is the pregnant woman in the beige coat? Where did she go? The staff member was a middle-aged woman in her 40s. Upon hearing the voice, I lifted my head and saw it was Han Muchen. My expression immediately darkened, and I scornfully scolded. How dare you even ask? You must be that brat's parent. Right. Ah. How did you raise your child? How could someone so little have such a poisonous mind? You went straight to bump into a pregnant woman's belly. And after that, you even hit her. The more she spoke, the angrier she became, her finger almost poking Han Muchen's nose. The pregnant woman turned pale on the spot. And she was bleeding. And you. just holding your child, turned and walked away, not even giving her a second glance. Are you even human? Muchen was taken aback by the sudden scolding. He responded slowly. Is she bleeding? What happened to her? Who took her to the hospital? And which hospital did she go to? Now you're worried. Why didn't you act earlier? The staff glared fiercely at him, their tone extremely harsh. Our director and the drivers already rushed in to take them away. I have no idea which hospital they went to. I'm telling you. Just wait. If something happens to the child, just see if they'll let you off easy. Get ready for a lawsuit. After finishing speaking, the staff turned around and left, in a fit of anger. She stomped her high heels on the ground, making a clattering sound. Muchen felt as if he had just woken from a dream. In a flurry, he fumbled for his phone, trying to contact me. Can't get through. Muchen anxiously exited the call interface and edited a message. Xiaonian. Which hospital are you at? I'm coming over right now. Xiao is fine. It was my fault just now. Answer the phone. Clicked send. A glaring red exclamation mark suddenly appeared beside the message. He was blocked. Not only that, all of Muchen's contact methods have been blocked by me. Muchen had no choice but to turn to my assistant. Sorry, President Han. I cannot disclose any personal matters regarding President Zhang's privacy. If you have urgent official business, I can relay it for you. This is not official business. Muchen became anxious, raising his voice. Zhang Nian is my wife. She just felt unwell at the Civil Affairs Bureau, and I must see her immediately. The assistant frowned, his tone laced with a hint of impatience. Mr. Han, as far as I know, you and Mr. Zhang have already officially completed the divorce procedures today. As for Mr. Zhang's health condition, we will have a professional medical team in charge. So you need not worry. If there's nothing else, I'll hang up first. Wait. Let me tell you. Before Muchen could finish his words, the busy tone came from the receiver. He was hung up again, in utter helplessness. Muchen could only turn to his mother. I hope that out of respect for Aunt Han as an elder, you can share some news. Mom, can you get in touch with Xiaonian now? We had a bit of a disagreement. No one knows a child better than their mother. As soon as Han's mother heard Muchen's shaky tone, she knew something was wrong. Her voice suddenly became stern. What contradiction? What contradiction? Muchen, you better tell me honestly. What exactly happened? Not a single word can you hide from me. Muchen could only grit his teeth and say, it was when we just received the certificate at the Civil Affairs Bureau today. I don't know how Xiao ran over and accidentally bumped into Xiaonian's belly. At that moment, I saw Xiao seem to hit her head, and I got anxious and rushed to take care of her first. I didn't. I couldn't pay too much attention to Xiaonian's side. As a result, when I settled Xiao and went back to look for Xiaonian, she was already gone. People on the scene said she seemed to have bled and was taken to the hospital. Mom, I can't get in touch with her at all right now. Could you help me contact her? Han's mother quietly listened to him on the other end of the phone. The air froze for a few seconds. Then, a sharp reprimand suddenly erupted. Muchen, you heartless wretch. Do you have no brain? That little brat is only 3 years old. If there aren't any adults to take her, can she sprout wings and fly to the Civil Affairs Bureau? Tell me, who took her there? Did you accidentally bump into the belly? Why didn't she bump into an arm or a leg, and just happen to hit the most critical part of a pregnant woman's belly? Have you been blinded by lard, that you can't see through this little trick? Mother Han trembled with rage, her voice shaking. Are you really going to hold on to that dubious little tramp and just throw away Xiaonian and my grandson without a care? Muchen, has your conscience been eaten by a dog? Mom, I have left you. Muchen was rendered speechless by the scolding. Don't call me Mom. I don't have a son as beastly as you. Mrs. Han interrupted him sharply, taking a deep breath to rein in her anger. I'm telling you, if anything happens to my grandson, The first ones I won't spare are those two lowlifes. And I certainly won't let you off either. I'm calling right now. You. Right this minute. Go find out who took that disaster to the Civil Affairs Bureau today. I want the whole story investigated thoroughly. After saying that, without waiting for Han Muchen to respond, Han's mother angrily hung up the phone. Then she started calling me. Of course. I wouldn't answer. I blocked all of Han's mother's contact information as well. Places like the Civil Affairs Bureau are under surveillance. It's very easy to see the whole process. In the footage, Zhang Qingzi appears a step ahead, holding Xiao Xiao's hand. At the corner of the corridor of the Civil Affairs Bureau, she crouches down, leans in close to Xiao Xiao's ear, and whispers for a long time. While speaking, she pointed towards the hall with her finger, gesturing to her own belly, and finally even raised her hand, making a vague pushing motion forward. Xiao Xiao tilted her little face up, listening with a look of partial understanding, but clearly nodding. Then, she left Xiao Xiao alone and walked away. Xiao Xiao hid behind the corner, sneaking a peek outside. Before long, my figure appeared on the surveillance screen, walking in this direction, ready to leave. Xiao Xiao stuck her head out, confirming my direction and position. Then, she suddenly charged out, head down, directly colliding with my prominently swollen belly. Bang! The force of the impact could be felt through the surveillance footage. I was instantly struck, curling up in pain. And it wasn't over yet. After knocking me down, Xiao Xiao not only showed no fear, but also did not run away. Instead, taking advantage of my pain and weakness, she reached out with her small hand and pulled and hit my belly a few times with force before I managed to push her away. Then, under the pretext, Xiao Xiao bumped into the wall and started to cry out loudly. In the monitoring room, Han Muchen was already stunned by this series of actions. How could this happen? Han Muchen murmured to himself, both annoyed and angry. His insides twisted up, yet he couldn't hold it in any longer. He punched the hard edge of the monitoring desk, instantly breaking the skin on his knuckles and drawing blood. Zhang Qingzi. After saying that, Han Muchen stood up abruptly and rushed out. He headed straight for the suburban villa he had recently bought for Zhang Qingzi. It was the middle of the afternoon work hours, and Zhang Qingzi clearly did not expect Han Muchen to suddenly come home. Still in the children's room on the second floor, I asked Xiao Xiao about her day. Xiao Xiao, tell mommy, how did you bump into that bad woman today? Xiao Xiao's voice came up with a hint of pride. I did what mommy taught me. I saw her and ran over to bump into her belly. She thudded right down to the ground. Her face turned so pale. I even hit her a few times. Later, she started bleeding from her belly. The little girl's voice paused, as if recalling something. Her tone lifted again. And then I started pretending to cry. And Dad came. Dad didn't even look at her and just carried me away. Mom, did I do great as you said? Great. Our Xiao Xiao is the best. Really my good little treasure. Zhang Qingzi's voice was filled with unabashed malice, constantly instilling in Xiao Xiao, that woman deserves it. To try to take away Xiao Xiao's dad is to be a bad woman. Xiao Xiao bravely protected her mom and dad. Mom is making your favorite oil-braised prawns today as a reward for our little hero. Okay. Xiao Xiao cheered happily. Hooray. Eating prawns. Okay? Sweetie, play by yourself for a while. Mommy is going to the kitchen, Zhang Qingzi said, just as she was about to get up. At that moment, creak. With a dull thud, the half-open door to the children's room was slowly pushed open. Han Muchen stood there. His face was a horrifying shade of ashen, his gaze dark and menacing as he asked, Zhang Qingzi, is this how you teach our daughter? Zhang Qingzi was completely stunned. She couldn't even force a smile, and could only stammer to change the subject. Muchen. Why are you back so early today? Isn't the company busy? I went to make you dinner. You must not have eaten yet. As she spoke, she was about to slip past him, when Han Muchen grabbed her. Answer my question. Zhang Qingzi gasped in pain, trying to feign her usual delicate charm to muddle through. Muchen, you hurt me. I was just joking with Xiao Xiao. Kids' words can't be taken seriously. Don't take it to heart. Han Muchen's grip tightened even more. He directly pinched Zhang Qingzi, leaving a ring of bruises. Zhang Qingzi, I'm giving you one last chance. I checked the surveillance footage from the Civil Affairs Bureau. Upon hearing this, Zhang Qingzi raised her head in terror. Surveillance. Yes. She has lived abroad for many years, due to privacy concerns. Many public places overseas do not have surveillance cameras, but there are in the country. When she incited Xiao Xiao, she relied on Xiao Xiao's young age, thinking that if something really happened, she could always claim the child didn't understand, and it was an accidental collision. Who could hold a child accountable for an innocent mistake? What can I do to Xiao Xiao? Zhang Qingzi was completely flustered. She hurriedly explained. No, Muchen. Let me explain. It's Zhang Nian. It must be her. She deliberately set me up. She can't stand me and wants to drive me and Xiao Xiao away. The surveillance footage could also be fake, created by AI. It's a lie. Muchen, you have to believe me. How could I possibly teach a child to do such a thing? I'm Xiao Xiao's mother. She cried bitterly, trying to grab Han Muchen's arm, but he flung her away with disgust. Han Muchen looked at her, tears streaming down her face, and felt a wave of nausea. Faking it. Do you need me to pull it up right now? Frame by frame. To show you. To show the police. Inciting a minor to intentionally cause harm, with the target being a pregnant woman. Xiao Nian is really going to sue you. Zhang Qingzi, do you think you won't end up in prison? Upon hearing the words imprisonment, Zhang Qingzi felt her legs go weak, almost collapsing to the ground. Behind her, Xiao Xiao also seemed to be frightened by the terrifying atmosphere between the two, letting out a loud cry of wow. This cry typically made Han Muchen's heart soften easily, but at this moment, it only annoyed him. Shut up. Why are you crying? You've done something wrong, and you still have the nerve to cry. Xiao Xiao was startled into a gasp by the fierceness she had never seen from him before. Her sobs were choked in her throat, leaving only intermittent gasps. Han Muchen's chest rose and fell violently as he looked at Zhang Qingzi in front of him. Strange and absurd. He didn't understand. Really didn't understand. The girl in his memory, dressed in a white dress, who would shyly smile at him. The little Z he thought was innocent and kind. Needing his protection, how could she have turned into the one before him now? This venomous woman who can calmly incite her daughter to bump into a pregnant woman's belly. What on earth is happening? He closed his eyes, suddenly missing myself so much. Zhang Qingzi. Our wedding is cancelled. Zhang Qingzi trembled all over. She suddenly raised her head, looking at him in disbelief. I will not marry you anymore. The custody of Xiao Xiao belongs to you. From now on, I will pay child support each month according to the legal standards, until she comes of age. Aside from this, we will have no further ties. He paused, his gaze sweeping over the villa. It felt incredibly ironic. As for this place, I'll give you 3 days to move out. This villa, and all the assets I have gifted to you, I will have my lawyer liquidate and reclaim. I will not allow a woman with a heart as cruel as a serpent's to continue living in the house I provided. No. Muchen, you can't do this. Zhang Qingzi was so shocked that she was left speechless, panic surging wildly in her heart. The wedding is gone, and the dream of becoming a wealthy lady is about to shatter. She didn't care about her image and jumped forward, trying to grab Han Muchen's arm. But he coldly swatted her away again. Muchen, let me explain. I know I was wrong. I truly know I was wrong. I was just momentarily blinded. I love you too much. I was afraid of losing you. That's why. That's why I did something foolish. She cried so much that her makeup was ruined, kneeling on the ground and pleading. For Xiao Xiao's sake. Can you forgive me this once? Please. I promise I won't do it again. Han Muchen maintained a cold expression, ignoring Zhang Qingzi's crocodile tears. He turned away resolutely and strode off. Behind him was Zhang Qingzi's desperate cries, and the sound of things crashing to the ground. I certainly wouldn't let Zhang Qingzi off so easily. Before Han Muchen got hold of that surveillance footage, my legal team moved even faster. A lawsuit has already been filed with the court. Even if in the end she can't send Zhang Qingzi to prison, it's enough to ruin her reputation in the circle and give her a criminal record. When Mother Han learned of this, she was nearly so angry that she had to be hospitalized again. She issued a strict order directly to Han Muchen. The less support money, the better. Zhang Qingzi was already relying on Han Muchen for support. In the current situation, she could only squeeze with her daughter in a town village, struggling to make ends meet. Even having their contact information blocked by Han Muchen was even less willing to see the two of them. Mother and daughter. They just kept trying to reach out to me. But everyone remained tight-lipped, politely and distantly stating that they were unaware of President Zhang's whereabouts and it wasn't convenient to disclose. Even the fact that I took Zhang Qingzi to court was entirely handled by my lawyer, leaving him no opportunity to trace anything back. It wasn't until 3 years later, while I was working overtime at the Chicago branch, that the secretary gently tapped on my door, hesitating slightly. Mr. Zhang, there is a gentleman who wants to see you. He doesn't have an appointment, but insists that you will definitely meet him, he said. His surname is Han, and he comes from China. My pen paused slightly. What was destined to come would always come. It's been 3 years. And he still found me. Bring him in. Yes, Mr. Zhang. Han Muchen pushed the door and entered. It had been 3 years since they last met, and his figure seemed much thinner than she remembered, with his shoulders appearing somewhat hollow. Before I could say anything, Han Muchen fell with a thud, directly kneeling in front of me. He spoke in a hoarse voice. I'm sorry, Xiao Nian. The company's matter back then was me. It was you who deceived me. I stood up from my seat, calmly taking over the conversation. The company actually didn't encounter any trouble. You only wanted to bring Zhang Qingzi into your home. But you were afraid I would take revenge and make things unpleasant for you. You just found a grand-sounding reason. Han Muchen fell silent for a moment and then gave a wry smile. So, it turns out my mother was right. You really know everything already. I didn't pick up on what he said. I directly asked him, Han Muchen, what exactly do you want to do here today? If you want to see the child, please go back. I have said that in this life, I will not let you see him again. Han Muchen's body stiffened. He knelt forward half a step, choking as he pleaded with me. Xiao Nian, I know I have no right to mention the child. I came here today to ask for your forgiveness. I know I have done too many foolish things before. I've been absurdly wrong, and I don't expect you to forgive me right away. Tears rolled down Han Muchen's cheeks, sliding over his gaunt face. Just let me see him once. Just once. Let him call me uncle. Whatever he wants. Xiaonian, give me a chance. A chance to make it up to you both. Please. I love you. Not a single day in these 3 years have I stopped thinking about you, or regretting. I can't let you go. Xiaonian, I really can't let you go. Do you love me? I gently interrupted his tearful confession. It felt so absurd. Han Muchen, it was you who had a child with Zhang Qingzi during our marriage. It was you who insisted on the divorce. And it was you who left me and our child at the Civil Affairs Bureau. Now, you kneel here, saying you love me, that you can't let go. I slowly shook my head, my eyes revealing disgust. Your love is too cheap. Han Muchen completely collapsed, crying uncontrollably. She mumbled repeatedly at me. Is there not even a sliver of hope? Xiaonian, do we really have no chance at all? I moved to the floor-to-ceiling window, my back to him. My attitude remained resolute. I told you. You will not see him again in this lifetime. Your presence here serves no purpose other than to disrupt the peaceful life of me and the child. He doesn't need a father who has an illegitimate daughter. This sentence repeatedly broke Han Muchen's spine. He suddenly bent down, covering his face. He cried inconsolably. After a long while, he got up unsteadily and left. I know that with Han Muchen's abilities, if he wanted to, he could find countless ways to secretly take a few photos of the child. Or even a video. But that's not what he truly wanted. What he wanted was to stand openly in front of that child and hear that soft, tender voice call out to him, "Daddy." That is absolutely impossible. After that, no matter how many people Han's mother tried to send messages through, nor during his birthday celebrations, in times of illness, or even at the time of his passing, I never took Miu Miu to see her again. Life is good now. Miu Miu is healthy and lively, growing up surrounded by love. He had all the joy and troubles that a child his age should have. My partner treated him as his own, providing him with unconditional fatherly love and companionship. Miu Miu had never asked about another dad, as his world was already filled with love, leaving no room for such a void. In the 5th year after Han's mother passed away, I learned through financial news that Han Muchen had been diagnosed with liver cancer. But 3 months later, Han Muchen passed away. The only will he left was to bequeath all his possessions to Miu Miu and me. Probably knowing that I would bother him, he left no words behind. That month, I took Miu Miu on a flight back home. The cemetery is located on a quiet hillside on the outskirts of the city, with Han's mother and Han Muchen's gravestones situated very close to each other. Mumu is already 8 years old, dressed in a neat little suit, curiously surveying the surroundings. He also looks up at me, his big eyes filled with some confusion. But he is very well behaved, not making a sound. I crouch down to his level, point to Han Mu's gravestone, and then look at the one next to it. Miu Miu. This is your grandmother. This is your biological father. I paused for a moment, organizing my words. I didn't want to deceive. Mom brought you here today, without asking you to do anything. You can choose not to remember them, or to understand. But after all, you are blood relatives, and Mom thinks you should have a quiet farewell. Miu Miu seemed to understand vaguely, and turned to look at the 2 silent tombstones. He quietly asked, "Mom, did they go to the stars?" I was slightly taken aback, then gently stroked his soft hair. "Well, maybe," he said, and didn't ask further. He simply placed a bunch of plain white chrysanthemums in front of the grave. Miu Miu seemed unwilling to say much more. I didn't linger for too long, taking Miu Miu's warm little hand. "Let's go." As I turned to leave, Miu Miu suddenly looked back and glanced at Han Muchen's photo, mumbling something indistinctly. It sounded like she called out "Daddy." The wind was so loud that I couldn't hear clearly. Perhaps it was just a child's unconscious whisper. But I know, some stories, here, have truly come to a close. Yet our lives continue to move forward.